Hey, he's not muted this time, I think.
Is he?
I can't. He's not speaking.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
I saw you click the unmute button, but then okay.
Did I? Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Again, this show is hard run from a laptop. Point is, we're back with another week. Left side, strong side. I'm your host, Chance Ellison. Jacob London mysteriously gone after this past week. We know it wasn't because of his team. We know.
Yeah, I was about to say, I felt like after watching that game, I felt like Jacob was going to want to come on here
Jacob
and
absolutely
just want to freaking strut, because that was like, you take someone out to the shed and you do just disgusting things.
Yeah,
that was oh my god.
We'll get to that later. But yeah, Buck is back for another week. Thank you for coming back, Buck, and such. On a not short note, but thank you for coming back for another season. So we are here to talk about all the goings on of the NFL in the past week, starting with Thursday night football. Look, Jets fans, y'all had it rough for a long time. Y'all had it rough, but now
all the way back. But yeah.
But now you get to see what it's like to put the shoe on the other foot and beat the fuck out of an opponent. My God, look, for the first couple weeks, Patriots O-line, they weren't playing great, but they were playing better than we thought they would. Then this week happened. And oh my
You
goodness.
mean they faced an actual defense? Like an actual front, like an actual disgusting front seven?
Yeah, like this Jets defense is looking like what they were advertised to be when they got Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
We said they could be frisky, but this also was a possibility of what we could see the Patriots do. So.
Yeah, and we also got a case in point as to why Drake May is not playing right now, because he will die.
He will die if they put him out.
He looked better in 3 minutes than Jacoby Brissett looked for almost the entire. Like, in terms of fantasy, like, he literally had more points in about 5 minutes of game time than Jacoby Brissett had the entire game.
And yet, in 5 minutes, he still took 2 sacks.
Yeah, he was only in the game for 2 series, still got sacked twice. Which is why, again, case in point why you cannot put him out there. Exactly. Conversely, though, on the side of the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, it looks like he's starting to click with this team.
Yeah. Took a whole year and been injured and, 3 more games, but yeah.
And Zach Wilson, yes.
I mean, that offense, when they have a legit quarterback, is actually pretty. They have a 2-headed monster at running back. Like,
well, it's a 2-headed monster nobody saw coming. Like, who the hell saw Braylon and Allen being a threat?
What scares me with them is they can put Brees out wide because he's a great receiving back, and they put Allen in the backfield. What are you gonna do? Like, because you're probably going to try and double Garrett Wilson. Okay, you want to leave open a tight end in the middle of the field because Conklin actually just like he had 5 catches for 93. I'm like, Alan Lazard's good. Mike Williams, like, they don't need
things. He's getting there.
So the thing with Mike Williams is they don't need him to be the Mike Williams at the Chargers. Like, they just need him to be there, and occasionally they'll go deep with him.
Honestly,
and they'll throw him a jump ball.
If Mike Williams is healthy, arguably the best contested catch receiver in the NFL.
Which is odd because he plays half his games at MetLife.
Well, yes, exactly, because the if is a very big if.
Again, the Jets, you're banking a lot on health.
Yes.
But if this team can stay healthy, they could be a problem for a lot of teams.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, I believe this is game number 12 of Amazon regretting spending $11 billion.
They've been getting the shaft. They keep getting
this week. It's not getting better this week.
I don't think it's getting better this season.
I don't know.
It's getting better this season.
Yeah, they're like, come on, like, give us a bone, throw us a bone, give us a good game at least for once.
Well, they usually start with a good game, and what was the week 2?
Dolphins.
It didn't happen this week. Yeah,
it didn't happen last week either. So it's just losing streak.
Yeah, I mean, one of these games is going to click eventually, but yeah, it's not this one. Patriots fans, buckle up because you had a great week 1, and then the rest of the season's about to happen. So buckle up. You're in for a ride, kids.
Yeah, you're gonna have another top 5 pick, which may not be a bad thing because I think Mayo is a really good coach. They're so depleted talent wise. Like they have no offensive weapons, legit no offensive weapons. So that's something that they'll need to address in the offseason for sure. Because I'm like, who does he throw to? Demario Douglas? Stevenson did nothing on Thursday.
Oh, I was this close to putting Stevenson in my fantasy lineup, and I was so happy I didn't because Stevenson didn't do jack against the defense. Mike, other Jets fans out there, take the win, take a shot, and enjoy this. You've been under the boot of the Patriots for a long time. This is like I know you beat them at the end of last season, but this is like the real no, you're fucking done, New England.
It's like, cool, you won your first game and completely destroyed anyone in a Survivor League, me included. Like, I was done. Like, I thought that was – yes, that was. I was going to do what a lot of people did last year is whoever the Patriots were playing, just like everyone did with the Cardinals last year. Nope. And at least now I know it's not because the Bengals were bad in week 1. They've been bad all 3 weeks.
We'll talk about Cincy in a bit, but yeah. Moving on already, we got our upset of the week. I also feel like this is a reason Jacob's not here because he had to come on and talk about how bad his boy Baker Mayfield.
How's that Baker Mayfield for MVP looking?
Yeah, I know, right? So the Baker Mayfield campaign for MVP has officially died.
It's been put on hold.
I said this in our group. It's week 3, you guys.
Yeah,
can we not overreact or underreact to something? Like, okay, he had a bad week. Yeah. Baker could still go on a run. If Baker did what he did all of last year, he could be in the talks for MVP. I'm not saying Baker's going to win MVP.
They won 9 games last year.
Because their division is trash. Yeah. This year, I don't know. But yeah, no, I was very disappointed in this because I had some bets on Chris Godwin, and I was like, oh, that's easy money.
He did okay.
Because I knew that Patrick Surtain was going to be on Mike Evans. So I was like, oh, dude, Godwin's going to feed. Nope. Neither one of them really did anything.
Yeah,
Godwin did score the only touchdown.
The only touchdown, he got 50 yards receiving. Other than that, nothing. Conversely, though, the Broncos look like a completely different team against a team that we consider to be very good.
Yeah.
Bo Nix still hasn't thrown a touchdown somehow. And
Bo Nix has not thrown a touchdown.
They won by 19. That's insane.
But this also is the first time Bo Nix has been outrushed by a running back. Tyler Beatty, who saw this coming? Of course, the rando gets to outrush.
It's just funny that that's the first time that he's been outrushed by a running back, which is literally their job.
It's because Javonte, I think, is still suffering from his torn ACL. Like, he just hasn't been the same.
No, he hasn't. He really is not. Also, RIP Rachaad White's fantasy owners because Bucky Irving is looking like he's the better of the 2 backs right now.
No. He's a better running back. White, though, is still a really good receiving back. I think that could potentially be another, I wouldn't say 2-headed monster. Let's go 1.75.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Not exactly 2. Not exactly 2. But
scare anybody.
Very close to 2.
Irving is fat. Dude, he is fat. If he gets in the open field, watch out. So,
no, absolutely. But look, I'll give a lot of credit to the Broncos. This is a team that we thought very well could not win. Mike might not win a game all season, given how we saw them. I don't think this does a lot to save people in Denver, but this does do a little bit to, kind of prolong the process. Although, granted, I don't think Sean Payton is getting fired at the end of the season if he gets fired. But I do think that this was a win that Broncos needed for morale. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
For their sanity?
Yeah,
For
exactly.
sure.
Although RIP Perna fans who didn't get to enjoy another worst game. There's some of the worst game series. Honestly, looking at the upcoming schedule, we might not have another worst game for a while. But again, this is Denver. They have been known.
They play the Jets. Yeah, they play the Jets next week.
Is it next week? Oh, it is next week.
Yeah, they
right.
play the Jets next week.
Yep.
So,
Could bounce back. That's gonna be that. Next game we're talking about. One that Browns are so lucky that the Broncos exist, or else this would be upset of the week.
Yeah.
Again, a team that we thought had a very good chance of going 0-17 for the very first time came out and did this against what we considered to be a very good defense in Cleveland. Conversely, though,
Malik Neighbors basically is like, I'm going to save Daniel Jones. Why? I don't know.
Exactly. This is not good because you're going to keep Daniel Jones now.
Yeah. I'm like, do you want Malik Neighbors? Malik
Neighbors is almost single-handedly keeping the Giants fans alive this season.
Yeah, I think did he? I know he had 2 touchdowns in this game. Did he have 2 touchdowns the week before too?
I think just one.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he only had one against Washington.
He's basically their only offense.
Yeah, again, the same way Saquon was the entire offense for the G-men 2 years ago. Malik Neighbors is now the offense for.
When they draft skill position players high, they just put all the focus on them.
Yeah.
Also, if you're a bettor, you hate Devin Singletary.
Oh my god.
I mean, smart play, but yes.
So it's 21-15, and I heard that the game total was 37.5. He slides, it's 36. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense from a football perspective.
Right.
Yes.
Betting aside, it's a smart play. But yeah.
Although, I wouldn't say the Giants won this game. They just lost less than Cleveland did because
even though they literally fumbled on the first play and literally gave the Browns a free touchdown.
And they won it, and they scored on the very first play after that fumble, and the Browns still lost. Why? Because the offensive line for the Browns was fucking trash in disguise as football players.
Hey, at least this loss wasn't because of Deshaun Watson. So if you're looking for a positive thing as a Browns fan, you can just say, oh, at least Deshaun didn't lose us the game. Amari Cooper decided that, I can play football because he did nothing the first 2 weeks.
No, he didn't. But again, in the words of Lincoln Park, in the end, it didn't even matter. You thought I was going to go to the Dan Madison joke again. No, not this time. I already used that one. Cleveland couldn't get anything going running the ball. This is a team that is waiting for Nick Chubb to come back desperately because they need a ground game. But also the offensive line they were not holding up as far as pass blocking goes. Deshaun got sacked 8 times by this defense.
So it's still kind of his fault.
I mean, it's still kind of his fault, but also I watched some of those sacks also, if you're watching Red Zone when this game was going on, somebody at Red Zone did not like Deshaun. Man, there's a lot of people that don't like Deshaun Watson. Somebody at Red Zone specifically did not like Deshaun Watson because they made it a point to show every single fucking sack.
Just really rub it in.
Just really, really rub it in.
I mean,
G-Men, congrats. Also, again, as a division rival, thank you very much.
Hey, at least you got your win.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're going to get many others.
I don't know how many wins
lucky
you're
to
going to
get
get this
4.
season, but you got one. That's something. I'm just going down the list on the sheet next to me. So we have arrived at this. Okay, now look, I'm not gonna lie. When this game started, I was a little concerned. When Quentin Johnson scored a touchdown on us, that was concerning to me.
You were concerned because of that?
Hey, look, if a player was gonna score on us, not gonna lie, I thought it'd be Ladd McConkey, but
He had
Quentin-
2 targets. He had
Yeah.
2 targets in this game. One of
I
them was.
think he caught them both too.
Yes. Yep. He was
Good
2
job.
for 2.
Good job.
I hate Jim Harbaugh has made him look like an actual NFL player. Like, I think he had a touchdown last week too. I was like, oh
McConkey did. Yeah, McConkey did.
no,
Yeah.
Quentin Johnson did too.
Oh,
Johnson
no,
scored twice last
Johnson had 2.
Yeah, Johnson scored twice last week.
So maybe the reports of Quentin
Maybe
Johnson's
there's
death were greatly exaggerated.
There's hope. Maybe.
It just to me makes it seem like, and you guys have said it on this show tons of times. Brandon Staley was bad.
Oh yeah, no,
So bad.
You can go back and watch tape, but I don't think you can find a single instance of us defending Brandon
Even when
Staley.
they won.
Because there's nothing to defend. Why?
Yeah,
Like,
even when they won,
When they won, it was like, what was it really him?
But yeah, point is, we go to this game again. We have 2 of the top defense. I think the 2 top defenses in the NFL going head to head. The best running game in the league, in J.K. Dobbins,
Sure.
was dude was playing lights out the first couple weeks, and again, the first half of this game, arguably unwatchable game of the week because no one was really doing anything.
Yeah.
Second half of the game, though,
You
was
saw the Steelers offense.
yeah, we saw Steelers off, and not just that, we saw a defensive adjustment that resulted in a defensive clinic. Like the Steelers' defense in the second half was phenomenal. And I'm gonna say it right now: the Steelers' defense is the best unit in all of football. And what I mean by that, there is not a single offense in the league that is better than the Steelers' defense is right now.
I will go with you right now. Yes.
Yeah.
So far through 3 weeks, yeah. That defense is
They're the
like
defensive
they don't
equivalent
need
of the
Fields to
Bears.
like they don't need Fields to win the game. Just don't
Don't
lose
mess
it.
Don't give the
Like-
ball away. Don't give the ball
Yeah.
away. Let the defense do their thing, and they'll be fine. Although Justin Fields in the second half made some really good throws and really good plays to keep the ball out of the Chargers' hand. Again, they put the clamps on the Chargers. Only had -5 yards of offense in the second half. Everybody on the screen right now had more yards in the second half than the Chargers did in this game.
Herbert also got hurt, right?
Yes.
So that
He
also-
got hurt, but but they were putting the clamps on with Herbert in the game.
Yeah, I got you.
But then you go to Taylor Heineke, like I'm like,
Yeah, which is why this rings a little suspicious. You know, the Steelers beat Jacob's future wife's team, and he's nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find that suspicious?
Uh-huh.
You don't find that suspicious?
and I don't
Jacob is burning your
I don't
imagination
know I don't know if he's playing this week, and they play the Chiefs this week, so
That's
Well, they're
the
going to get
other-
murdered. They're going to get
That's
murdered.
well, that's the other thing. Like the Chargers, at a certain point, stopped being about winning for the Chargers, but started being about surviving. Like Joey Bosa out, Justin Herbert
Alt.
out, Rashawn Slater out, Joe Alt out,
Jesus.
Derwin James suspended.
yeah, I was about to say, are you gonna say Derwin James out? Because technically he is.
Not good.
Yeah, Derwin James suspended, and guess who they play this Sunday? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, this game was something defensively, and again, it reaffirms what I've been saying the past 2 weeks. The Steelers have the best defense in football currently.
I mean, it helps when you probably have the best defensive player on your team,
Yes.
and he's better than his brother, which is just I never thought that was possible. Like, because when I'm like, all right, he's smaller, not gonna be no, like he's just. I think he's more versatile.
Hmm.
Well,
He can drop back into coverage. He can
Yeah.
do a
We
lot
just
of
need-
things that JJ couldn't.
Now we just need TJ Watt to catch a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm praying for the day.
That's the
TJ
next
Watt
goal.
gets the touchdown. That is the next goal. But TJ Watt also I think a half sack away from getting to 100 sacks faster than any player who is not Reggie White, which again, massively impressive. I cannot say enough good about this Steelers defense. We're now 3-0 for the 4th time under Mike Tomlin, and the last 3 times they did that, they went to the playoffs. So things are looking up for Pittsburgh. Moving on to our next game. Things are not looking up for this team. The Texans at the Vikings. Well, things are looking for one team. Look, I will apologize slightly because we thought that once J.J. McCarthy went down, the Viking season was done. But Sam Darnold's been playing pretty well. Not gonna lie, he's been playing pretty well.
This just shows that the Jets organization is so bad.
Well, not just that. This is an indictment on two franchises. It's the Jets and the Panthers.
Correct. Because it happened. So Panthers, it happened to Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield because they both leave and they do well. It's the same with the Jets. Now, I don't know if it's the same with Geno because it took him a lot longer after he left.
Sure.
But definitely with Sam Darnold. JJ getting hurt might be a blessing in disguise for them as a franchise because now they weren't forced to have to play JJ. Like now he can just sit back, watch, and learn. And Sam Darnold, it just shows that Kevin O'Connell is Kevin O'Connell is a really good offensive coach.
He is. And also on the same side, Brian Flores, like he's been.
That defense destroyed CJ Stroud.
They did. They broke his interception streak.
Brian Flores is going to get head coaching work again, probably.
I mean, he should have had head coaching job. Yes, already.
He should still have one, but
he should still have a job as a head coach.
Yeah, but he'll get more opportunities.
The Texans on the other hand, they look like a completely different team this week.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they're good. It's just
they're good, but they played they played up very uncharacteristically this week in that they were wildly undisciplined.
Mm-hmm. Oh jeez, I watched most of this game and then the 3 straight false start penalties.
False start.
False start.
I was like, what are you doing? The crowd can't be that loud.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I will say they didn't have Joe Mixon. That might be part of the issue, but I also think it's Brian Flores' defense is really freaking good. Yeah. So I think that was a big part of it too. I mean, Diggs had a really good game. 10 for 94, and then 1 for 1 for 13 yards.
Yeah,
he's a throw pass again.
That will hopefully keep him satisfied for the next couple of weeks. But again, I don't think this is an indictment on the Texans. If it is, then that's a problem.
Right. It was one game against a really good defense, so I wouldn't.
Yeah. If it continues, then be concerned.
Yeah, if I'm a Texans fan, I'm not too worried. Now, if it goes over the next couple of weeks, then maybe I would be a little worried.
Yeah, but either way, Texans nothing to hang your head about on this one. This was just a really, really a clinic by the Vikings. And look, I've been saying it, the Sam Darnold back to earth moment is going to come eventually. It might not. It might not. Maybe Sam Darnold is good now. Watch. I say that, and then he just has a really just shit run of games. Sam Darnold is exactly who I thought he was.
We'll see.
Let's see. Next game in the early window. Again, I also think this is
about come crashing back to earth.
This was a snooze fest for 3.5.
It was. This doesn't reaffirm
3-0 in the third quarter.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yes, it was.
This does reaffirm one thing though. Saquon Barkley is a difference maker for this Eagles team.
Sure.
Saquon genuinely has an argument right now for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. I know. Again, right now, after 3 weeks, but yes.
after 3 weeks. If he can keep this up.
Yeah.
For a good chunk of it, this actually was an unwatchable game of the week.
Yeah. No one's scoring.
Yeah, if the game stopped at the end of the third quarter, yes, I would agree. It was the unwatchable game of the week. But then Saquon's like, nah, man, I got this.
Saquon's just like, all right, goddammit, let's just jump back. We're going to go.
Enough playing games. Here we go.
This game does have a lot of question marks for the Eagles. Well, first of all, the defense played really well against a team that just scored 40 against the Cowboys, although it doesn't say a lot about the Cowboys defense. We'll get to that later. This does bring a lot of questions for the Eagles offensively and at the head coaching position. The Eagles went for it on 4th down, I believe twice. Didn't convert either one.
When the game is this close, you don't have to go for it on 4th down.
And not just that they didn't convert. I'm sorry, they converted 1 out of 3. 2 of them were the fucking dumbest play calls I've seen in a bit. And this is not like a singular Eagles problem. Another team in this we'll talk about later. But yeah, this is like you need a yard. Why are we running horizontally?
Yeah, why are you getting cute? Why are you getting? Yeah.
I know
it still works.
I know on one of them they did this whole like fake tush push and then like a counter to Saquon, and I'm like, stop it! Like just freaking run it. You have a huge QB. Just do the tush push. Like no one can stop it.
It still works. It clearly still works.
Right. It's confirmation bias. Because it worked, they're going to be validated.
Because it worked. But yes, Saints. The offense that we've been seeing for the past few weeks, it was not present in this game.
Carr wasn't hitting the deep shots like he was the first 2 games.
He wasn't. I don't know if this says more about the Eagles or more about the Saints, but yeah, this was again like the Broncos. They look like the Broncos or the Panthers. We'll talk about later. They look like a completely different team from last week to this week.
Yep, sure. In the opposite direction.
In the other direction. This is bad.
Yeah, one thing I was interested about with the Saints is with each game, these teams get more film on them. And these defensive coordinators most of them are really, really good. So the more video that they see of what they're doing, they'll stop it. So I'm curious if the Saints will then adapt back.
Yeah, can they adjust? Yeah.
Because that's always the biggest thing is they usually adapt to you, but can you adapt back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so again, the Saints also have a very big game coming up this week, which we'll talk about later. But Eagles, they're such a weird team. Like sometimes they win really well, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the offense looks great, sometimes it doesn't. The defense looks great, sometimes it doesn't. Eagles are really hard to gauge, but also Devontae Smith did go down with injury.
That was rough.
On a
vicious totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
Hope he's okay.
Hope he's okay, but Eagles fans a little better hope AJ Brown is ready to go this week.
That's true. If you don't have either of them, you're screwed.
Yeah, if you don't have either of those guys, that's
Jahan Dotson is not your savior.
Jahan Dotson season, baby. Let's go. Up next is my favorite new segment this season. Mm-hmm. It's the What the Hell Did Will Levis do this week? This week, again, I didn't have time to make a lot of clips. My editing software was being a bit of a dick, but I do have this. I want to know.
It's so great. 3 for 3.
What do you think's going through his mind?
I didn't see the a nutsack. That's what's going through his mind.
Exactly. That's what's going.
I didn't see this play go down, so I have no idea how he got here.
There's no context for this, but
it did happen. Well, again, I was so wrong about Daniel Jones. Will Levis is much watched.
Levis is the new Daniel Jones, probably. Yeah,
he is. Like
coupled with the fact that he also threw a pick 6 in this game. So
yeah, on a fucking terribly designed play. Like it was literally like 5 straight hitches that resulted in a pick 6. Fucking shit. But yeah, the Packers though. Again,
it is such.
Go ahead.
It is such an indictment that the Packers made Malik Willis into a functional quarterback like 1 month in, and the Titans can do that for 2 years.
Yeah. Again, Malik Willis played really well. 200 yards passing, over 70 yards rushing, 1 TD passing, 1 TD rushing. Like the Packers are making Malik Willis look competent. Something
exactly. He only had a month. He's only had a month on that team.
This says a lot about the Titans. This says a lot about Will Levis.
Yeah, the fact is that Malik Willis, with an actual good head coach and a good organization, can be a decent quarterback. Yeah, like when Jordan Love got hurt, and I was like, "Oh, Malik Willis, okay, you guys are going and whatever, how many games he's out." No, Malik Willis
He's balling. He's balling right
They're
now.
undefeated.
Dude, he's looking good. I'm like, oh shit.
This
Plus,
also
they might
makes
come back sooner
this
than they
also
thought.
makes the NFC North way more competitive than I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
Again, I
And
do
Jordan Love can come
still,
back probably maybe this week. So
yeah, Malik will keep the team afloat. Then honestly, they'll be in great shape when Jordan Love actually comes back this season.
you know,
Titans, on the other hand, genuine argument for the worst team in football.
the worst but the most entertaining.
Oh yeah, the worst. They're like Picasso's Guernica, to where like it's such beautiful chaos you can't help but be mesmerized by it.
There you go. Wow, Picasso reference. That's a new one.
That is a new one. I'm cultured, goddamn.
He's called culture. Come on.
Yeah, the Titans though, 0-3 to start the season. Looking at the upcoming schedule, things are not getting. They're getting a little easier, but not by much.
They might win this week, depending on
Yeah,
who
they might win
plays
this week just because.
because depends on who plays quarterback for the Dolphins.
But yeah, Titans fans, all the moves made during the offseason, in the end, again, not mattering.
If they don't win this week, they don't win till November
Probably not.
when they play the Patriots. Because after this week, they got Colts, Bills, and then Lions.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Have fun with
moving
like a
on.
top 5 pick.
Yeah. Again, moving on to our next game. This is our unwatchable game of the week. Again, also brought a lot of hilarity to it. It is the Bears versus the Colts. This was a race of ineptitude at QB. It's like which QB could
Can
blow
suck
it?
less.
Yeah, who could blow it less was the question in this
I
game.
don't. So the thing is, I don't know if this is on Caleb because that line is atrocious. Like that line is so bad.
Oh, you mean this line?
Yes, that one right freaking there. They run a speed option, and all of the linemen are on their ass. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, you
So
want an
why
idea
was
of
that
how,
the play call?
yeah. Fourth of all, why this play call? First of all, second of all, you want an idea of how bad the Bears line is? Here you go, right here.
Exactly.
Like it's so, they're like, yay, let's get Caleb Williams all these weapons. He doesn't have time to throw, so it doesn't like who gives a shit. Like
Bad play caller. Bad play calling plus bad offensive line is not a good.
I did. Sorry, Paul. This organization is a mess from top to bottom. Like I thought they kind of were with Justin Fields, and then we saw all the moves the Bears made to help Caleb Williams, and then and I'm like, oh, that's just like not fair to that Justin Fields. And then like we see Justin Fields looks decent.
Justin Fields is laughing so hard right now.
with the Steelers and like the Bears, but in my opinion, that photo was not the worst play of the game. In my opinion,
Was it one
that
of those picks?
yes, the one at the 5. I'm like, who are you throwing to?
Yeah,
Like, the man cannot make a 5-yard throw.
Yeah, if my editing software was working properly, I would have had that clip. But yeah, Richardson. I have a buddy of mine who
is he good?
Okay, I have a buddy of mine who he's a Panthers fan. Like he didn't want Bryce Young. He wanted Richardson. I think Richardson might have been worse in Carolina than Bryce Young.
Honestly, it just been Bryce Young. It would have just been Bryce Young, but bigger.
Yeah, like right. Like Richardson has like these great plays followed by what the hell are you doing?
He can make a 70-yard bomb, but he
throw 5
can't. He can't
so
throw
weird.
5 yards.
It's
Like,
so weird. Most
by the
people
way,
the opposite.
Is said Panthers fan name begin with a J?
No, it's not him actually.
Okay.
It's
That's what I thought. Okay, that's the first person that came to mind. But no, that throw, I'm like, who are you throwing to? There's nobody open, and there's 4 defenders in your way. You're what, 6'5", 260? Just run them over.
Funny thing is, he also had a worse pick later in that game.
I mean, we don't know. Colts just got lucky that the Bears were.
Yeah, I mean, like we got a glimpse of what Richardson could be last year in 4 games. We thought like, okay, promising.
At the beginning of this year, we got a glimpse. Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of this year, he played well against the Texans. Since then, no, absolutely fucking not. And friendly reminder, he is my fantasy quarterback in one of our Schmodown fantasy league. So I'm still winning.
So
but
I'm like, Colts fans, do you want him to play and see how bad he is, or would you rather he just get injured?
Jesus.
To find out,
Hopefully, we get Joe Flacco. We can get Joe Flacco.
like to find out, like, is this team good or is just Anthony Richardson just like when he's good, he's really good. When he's bad, he's bad.
Anthony Richardson on a good day is arguably
amazing.
Like a borderline top 5 quarterback. Anthony Richardson on a bad day is one of the worst QBs in the league.
And sadly, he seems to have more bad days than good days. So
far this year, yes, he has had more bad days than good. It's again, the season's just started. He's still upright, which is impressive. I mean,
I guess Colts will just take the upside that he could win you the week.
He could.
He could.
But yeah, I think also in our fantasy chat, Bethany Deacon, Florida alum, can vouch Anthony Richardson wildly, what's the word I'm looking for?
Inconsistent?
Inconsistent, yes. Wildly inconsistent at the quarterback position.
Chance gets to see him up close this week because they play the Steelers.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, which very, very excited for that one, which we'll talk about later. Bears, though, yeesh. We thought this team could very well, but look, the NFC North is one Bears away from being the best division in football, and we didn't think that'd be the case.
They were so overhyped in the preseason. Like, so many people were predicting them as a wild card. I'm like, wow, y'all are all in on this Caleb Williams hype.
I think Jacob did. I think Jacob did, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I might have as well.
But yeah, Bears fans, more things change, more stay the same. We'll see you next week. Next game, it's the what the hell happened.
Andy Dalton is back. Let's go.
This just shows that, to me, this just shows that Bryce is confident. Like, he was scared to throw the ball. Like, he was like, Andy Dalton looked like Andy Dalton from the Bengals.
Sure.
Like, he made everyone else on that. I was like, oh, so they do have weapons in Deontay Johnson and Chuba Hubbard. I'm like, oh.
Well, it's funny. Like, someone did like a test lineup. If your fantasy team had all Panthers players this week, you would have got 131 points.
Oh my god.
It's just weird because Raiders last week beat the Ravens, and then this week they get their asses handed to them against the Panthers. How does this make sense, please? Like, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense, even with Andy Dalton. It's
like we said, go home, NFL. You're drunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, unless he gets hurt, Andy Dalton is going to be their starter for the rest of the year.
They did lose Thielen though, so that might have some impact.
I'm curious. Was this just a first week back? The team's all hyped with a new quarterback. I'm curious to see how Andy Dalton does in the coming
this week.
weeks.
It's the ultimate revenge game for him. So,
oh my god, if Andy Dalton wins this week, that's going to be the greatest thing. I will give Andy Dalton Stomps Player of the Week if he wins.
Exactly.
Is it the Bengals?
It's the Bengals. Yeah, he gets to play the Bengals.
Oh my god,
that's gonna be must-see TV.
Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be great. But Andy Dalton, also the first player this year to throw for over 300 and 3 touchdowns.
Because of course he's the only one.
Because of course,
yeah. I'm like,
at the beginning of the year, we all thought that, right?
If you would have told me in August, first QB to have 300 yards and 3 passing touchdowns, I'd probably go Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and then I'd probably ask, is it 300 combined yards or 300 passing yards? Because then I would have thrown in Lamar Jackson, not Andy freaking Ginger Dalton.
The ginger assassin coming back to throw for 300. That was wild. Again, talking about the Raiders, though. The Raiders, who had a very talk about that in a second.
We got some business decisions.
After a very inspired performance against Baltimore the previous week. This week, not the case though. Like this, they played bad. They couldn't run the ball for shit. Keep in mind, Panthers down their best defender for the entire season in Derek Brown. Gardner Minshew couldn't get anything going. Throwing the football, like this team just couldn't do anything right. And yeah, like Antonio Pierce called out players making business decisions by taking plays off, which knowing the kind of coach Pierce is, that is not. Oh my god, cut. Oh, very well might get cut. But yeah, Raiders look bad, and like honestly,
first of all, Raider fans, what do you expect from Gardner Minshew? Like he is not your long-term solution. Like,
I guess they just expected competence. Maybe
they expect you to beat this team.
He almost took the Colts to the playoffs. So
almost did. What was I gonna say? Also, there's one shot at Devontae Adams who just like you see his face and you're just like, yeah, that's the guy who just regrets being here. We're back. We had a week.
Back to reality. We had 1 week.
He is not. He is. There's no way he's on this roster in November.
If this continues, if he is not traded, I will be shocked.
Then they went on a winning streak. That's what happened.
yeah, like that's the only way that he does it is if they do what they did last week, where they look like a good team, and then
they do that every week.
Yeah, they do it more consistently than
it's like night and day. Like it's.
But yeah, up next, a game that had January going to be our unwatchable game of the week. Dolphins at Seahawks. Now, look, we were critical of the Dolphins for giving big money to Tua. Well, one of us is very critical of Dolphins giving big money to Tua. After watching this, you get why. Because you think you're bad with Tua. Without him, you're somehow even worse.
You're somehow
If you have Tyreek in fantasy, you got to be pissed. Because you have to start Tyreek. He is one of those guys that, regardless of the matchup or their QB, you have to play him. This won't last. Like, he will get incredibly angry if this continues very much longer. Like, they need to do something. I still think it's funny. Go talk to Ryan Tannehill. I just think
reunion.
Yeah, but bring him right down from the cold. Well, I mean, in terms of free agents, he's your best option. Like, there is literally nobody you can get for free who is better than Ryan Tannehill.
I think Tannehill wants to play for a contender, if I heard correctly. And that's definitely not what Miami is.
Yeah, although like if he wants to play for a contender, like as a backup, I don't know what the plan is to play for a contender if that's the case. But
don't worry, Tim Boyle to the rescue.
That's the thing. At a certain point, Skylar Thompson went down, so we had
to got hurt. He got hit so many times.
Skylar Thompson. Let me get the box score on this. Sacked 5 times. QBR of 8.1. At a certain point, he got hurt, so Tim Boyle had to come in. Didn't do much better. But I forgot Tim Boyle was even on the Dolphins.
I don't think anyone knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't. Like, Mike brought it up in the chat. I'm like, why are you bringing up Tim Boyle? And then I saw, oh, shit. Oh. That's why. I was like, wait, like, who?
Oh, Mike is very familiar with Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle brought us all great joy. Yes. The Fail Mary 2.0. But yeah, looking at the Dolphins, like it's a question of like, what the hell do you do? Because
you're praying that Tua only has to miss 4 weeks.
You're praying Tua doesn't retire.
Yeah, exactly.
And otherwise,
like, if your season's done.
Otherwise, your season's done, and like honestly, McDaniel and Tua is like this weird combination. Yeah, they struggle against playoff teams, but like when that offense clicks, they fucking click.
70 point clicking.
70 point click. Granted, that was against Denver, so maybe gloves it off a little bit. But still, 70 points, impressive. You gotta pray that Tua is only gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next game. Hey, Buck, how you doing, buddy? Guess what you didn't do Sunday? You did not beat Goff. The Cardinals were not beating Goff on Sunday.
So I will say this: they should have lost by way more than they did. Mm. Also, that interception at the 2-minute warning is the biggest load of BS I've ever freaking seen.
You can't. You can't blow that play.
You have to let at least it play through. Nope, they.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my god,
another embarrassing thing for the refs.
Like that. And what was more frustrating is then later that drive, they go down and they score. And what do they score on? A goddamn hook and ladder.
Well, that was.
I was like, I'm not mad at that because that is like that's the problem. Like, Lions play anyone else, I'm all for it. But they played the Cardinals. And Kyler had too many throws of like, Marvin, like Marvin's down there somewhere. Like he had.
Every time I looked at the game,
defense played really well in this game. They kept them in the game for the longest time, but off it, like Kyler just went back to what Kyler does, and that's what's so frustrating. When I see people like Kyler's not good, and I'm like, yeah, and I know why, because he's not consistent playing it.
Kyler, if we did like a chart of every team's most inconsistent player, I think
Kyler,
Cardinals was Kyler Murray.
Yeah, because you go back and you do that game against the Rams, like and like I told this to Mike, I'm like, if he does that consistently week in and week out, he's a top 10 QB in the league, but 100%. He doesn't.
No,
like he it's a flash in the pan, and then he does this. I'm like, yeah, you're bottom 10 QB.
It's also things are also worse when he's bad around the time of new Call of Duty releases.
Which is like October this year, I think.
Even if it's not true, even if that's not true, it's still funny.
It's really funny.
Literally, the only two jokes people have on Kyler: Call of Duty, and he's short.
Again, if he develops any other personality traits, we'll make other jokes.
Yeah. But what the Bills have done makes me feel really good. Like they were right there with the Bills for most of that game, and they were close here with the Lions. So this team only goes as far as Kyler's play. If Kyler plays like he did against the Rams more consistently, I think they have a shot at a wild card. If we see what we saw this past week, no, like they're going to be a top 10 pick. Like that is a wide ceiling and floor. That is a massive ceiling and floor.
And it's fine if only the Cardinals that could happen. But on the plus side, though, for the Cardinals, it looks like he got Fitz 2.0. Marvin Harrison's looking really good.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Question is, are you going to give him the exact same career as Fitz? Because look, Fitz.
Well, you never get.
Fitz is to wide receivers what Phillip Rivers is to quarterbacks. He's wasted his entire career toiling on one team that never did anything.
I wouldn't put them in that class because Fitz is a top 5 wide receiver of all time. Phillip Rivers is not a top tier QB of all time.
But like a Hall of Fame caliber player.
I think Phillip Rivers is Hall of Fame. Yes, a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like how he was chirping on the field all the time, and they thought he was cursing. That man didn't curse when he was on the field.
Never cursed.
He went on his way not to curse.
Like I'm like, if you actually heard, it's just trash talk, but like PG version. Like,
oh my god! You know what? I don't know if this ever happened. I feel like it did, but maybe it didn't. A game between Kirk Cousins and Phillip Rivers would probably be like the only game you could mic up for a public audience.
Yeah, because it'd be all like completely clear, good for a family to hear. Listen, I grew up a San Diego Chargers fan. I watched them consistently.
Did you actually?
I did. Well, I grew up in San Diego. As soon as they moved to LA, I'm like, no, because I do not support LA sports. That's why I'm not a Chargers fan anymore. I cannot. I have a utter hatred for all of LA sports. As should. I hate the Dodgers and I hate the Lakers with a absolute passion.
That's fair.
So when they left, like it still hurts to that day. Marlon McCree, that interception, if he just goes down, they beat the Patriots. That's in the season that Tomlinson set the touchdown record when they went 14-2. Like that was their best shot at a Super Bowl.
It was.
I also don't like him because of their owner. I think he I hate Spanos.
Spanos can eat a dick.
Dude, I'm like, I know so many people that as soon as they left, lifelong generation Charger fans, families, done. They're, like,
I get it. Spanos screwed over an entire city.
Yeah, like they all were like, it was like the last thing. Like they couldn't stand them, and then like this was it. Like they're like, okay, we're done. We are not supporting this team anymore. So, yeah.
Funny thing is, we haven't talked about the Lions at all. The Lions actually look really good.
The Lions Cardinals going to go on a Chargers tangent.
Yeah,
David Montgomery, like in that first quarter, I'm like, there's no reason for you guys to throw the ball.
No.
And I knew this was going to happen because the Cardinals don't have a front seven. They do not. Every team should run on them. Like Montgomery and Gibbs. Wow. They were, I think they both had over 80 yards.
Montgomery had 105, Gibbs had 83. Overall, they put up nearly 200 yards of rushing, which is quite impressive and tells everyone the Cardinals have a glaring weakness.
The fact they just call the Jets, for Pete's sake, just call the Jets and ask what they want for Reddick. Like, like they need something. Like they have no pass rush. Their best pass rusher, Zaven Collins, and he's not even that good.
No.
Like
so the Cardinals, like they have not, like the basketball defensive picks, they have just not hit at all.
No. Like Isaiah Simmons one is bad. Like that. Like, is he even on a team right now?
New York.
I think he was on the Giants last year. I don't know if
is he still on the Giants? Like, is he actually?
As far as I know, he's still there. I'm double checking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still there.
He's still there.
The only thing that I can think of is that the Cardinals did call the Jets about Reddick, and the price tag is like really high. Like they want like a second round pick, and I'm like, that's not happening.
Oh yeah, no, for a guy who's holding out, hell no, that didn't happen.
Maybe a fourth.
No guarantee you play for the new team.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So, speaking of LA sports, a team that two teams that you're actually very familiar with, Buck. The 49ers and Rams. Look, three certainties in life: death, taxes, Kyle Shanahan not knowing what the fuck to do with a double-digit lead.
Juwan Jennings, like if he's a vet,
the week, even though they lost.
He has to be. Like he has to be. Like he scored like 47 fantasy points
out of absolutely nowhere.
You know who didn't do anything? Brandon Ayuk. This is a chance. We're paying you big money to come
validation,
and be the receiver that the team needs you to be your alpha, be the number
one. Or maybe because he was their only legit weapon, they game plan to stop him, and that's why Juwan Jennings was wide open. No CMC, no Debo, no Kittle.
Well, yeah, and we'll talk about the injury in a second, but let's talk about the Rams. The Rams, by the way, also starting Walmart cashiers.
Yeah.
They still have Stafford, though, and Stafford's a good QB. And wide receiver, what do they have? Tutu Atwell.
That's it.
Robinson.
That's it. Now, they still have a good running back in Kyron Williams. I love how he has
Corum, who I'm surprised they're not using more. I'm surprised they're not using Blake Corum more than they are right now. Blake Corum was good in college.
Yeah, he really was. I love how on the one touchdown, Kyron Williams does a flip to jump over the line, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
That was like I would love when an NFL player flips, but this showed a lot about the Rams' resolve. This is also the first time that they really beat Shanahan in the last 10 meetings, because again, I know they beat the Niners last year, the last week, but that was the last week they rested everybody because they made the playoffs anyway. So that one didn't really count. If we're talking about a win that counts, where you're going at each other, you're trying to win, you're trying to get a leg up in your division. This is the first time they beat a Shanahan team in the regular season in their last
I was about to say they beat him to go to the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Regular season.
Yeah.
There you go.
Conversely, though, Niners, look, it's like every what 4 years, the injury bug comes and hits them
I
hard.
feel like it's more frequent than that. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I last time it
This
was really
hard,
happening
maybe.
badly was 2020, in which they lost like the entire team.
It hasn't been this bad.
Yeah, it hasn't been this bad in a while, but it's happening again. Like we said, McCaffrey already out. Got
Going to
word that
Germany.
he's going to Germany to talk to a specialist about his Achilles, which basically tells us all like he's fucking done for the year. He's not
Probably
coming
not
back.
play this year.
Yeah,
Unless they
he's
make
done.
unless they make the playoffs, maybe.
But yeah, Debo's out for a few weeks. Kittle's out. We don't know if he's gonna be playing next week. Brock Purdy's injured. Javon Hargrave's out for the entire year.
Oof, rough.
Like
The only issue I have with this is it gives a built-in excuse to 49 fans as to
That's true.
why they aren't going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, exactly.
It does. No, it does. But honestly,
This
it's
one's
not
only
valid
10.
because you've been to 2 and you lost both the exact same way. So,
You guys should have at least 2 Super Bowls at this point. But you came across Patrick Mahomes and Kyle Shanahan.
there's an
Chokes like
alternate
no
universe.
one.
There's an alternate universe where Kyle Shanahan has 3 rings.
Yep. And then like some people's like he might be like a top 10, top 15 coach of all time because of that. But nope.
Nope.
Can't
Yeah.
beat Patrick Mahomes and can't
Stay healthy.
call plays on offense in the fourth quarter because he's 28-3. Like beyond beyond ridiculous.
Beyond ridiculous. And yeah, but this was actually a low-key candidate for game of the week because of the comeback that the Rams
Yeah.
pulled.
Yeah, that was
Wildly impressive,
That was
and a win that they really, really needed at this point.
Yeah.
freaking Jawan Jennings, 11 catches on 12 targets for
Yeah.
175 and like that to me. That's like so he was just basically open. Like he was just straight up open, or he was winning his matchup every single time.
Hey,
If they stay
what was
injured,
what was Brandon Ayuk's stat line? If you want to read that out real quick.
Jesus Christ.
Five catches on 10 targets.
Wow, fucking
Yeah, we got it.
$30 million receiver right there, everybody. Good job,
So-
man.
What's interesting, Brock Purdy had 8 completions. 5 of them were to Ayuk. I'm like, this is just feeding Chance's agenda on Brandon
Yeah.
Ayuk.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Brandon Ayuk, you ain't shit. In fact, you're my not Stonks player of the week just for existing.
Isn't that every week though? Like I'm
Will
pretty sure
Levis
that-
is Tyler Thompson somehow. He's like-
That is true. Like again, Brandon Ayuk is perma not Stonks.
yeah.
But still, fuck ASU. Moving on to our next game.
I can't wait till he gets traded to the Steelers midseason. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
again,
you have to, and then you have to
if he-
walk all of that back.
I will write a handwritten apology to Brandon Ayuk.
Chance will go like Michael Jackson moonwalk. If that
all the
happens.
way back.
He's just gonna walk that everything he said about running like sarcasm, guys. Sarcasm.
But no, fuck. Like if he goes to the Steelers, yeah, you could find me in the fucking civil rights era. That's how far back I'm walking.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
Find me in World War II. Find me in Vietnam.
Speaking of
Find
Germany
me
and
at the birth,
McCaffrey.
find me at the birth of Christ.
Oh goodness.
Moving on to our final game of the mid window.
Ooh.
Ravens at the Cowboys. This game tells us one thing. Well, it tells us a couple things. One, the Cowboys defense is fucking awful.
Trash.
Yeah.
Like this is the again they were pretty good when Dan Quinn went to DC. Mike Zimmer is not going to be here after this year. Like not at all.
No, maybe.
If Mike Zimmer still has a job at the end of the season, something got really adjusted or something gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
No. What might happen is they fire Mike McCarthy
And
and
promote Mike Zimmer.
yeah, promote Mike Zimmer.
Oh,
Is
God.
that better? Is that even
Yeah,
better?
not really.
No, it's not. I'm just
No.
saying.
It's a
Yeah.
lateral
Oh,
move.
that is every Cowboys fan's nightmare scenario.
It's a lateral move.
This team is in so much trouble with that Dak contract. Like,
Well, and guess who you can't afford to get with that contract? Defense.
Micah Parsons. More help.
Probably
You
not
also
Micah Parsons.
Probably can't pay Micah Parsons.
Probably not. But yeah, this game was fucking ugly to start. Like this.
It wasn't this close. It was only this close because they
No,
tried
it
to
was.
come back.
It was this close. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
First of all, like Cowboys, I think have one of the worst, if not the worst, rushing defense in the league now. Derrick Henry,
Jesus, exploded.
look,
He woke up.
Derrick Henry, people calling him old and just like, oh yeah, okay,
No,
I got something for you.
Exactly.
Ran for over 150 yards on the day. Keep in mind, this was against the number, I think, like a top 3 defense last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was up there.
The greatest deficit at this point, at any point in this game, was 28-6 in favor of the Ravens.
Yeah.
But then John Harbaugh took over. The three worst teams in the league: the Giants, the Browns, the Ravens with a double-digit lead.
Harbaugh's in the fourth quarter.
Harbaugh's in the fourth quarter generally awful.
John Harbaugh is a terrible coach. Like his quote, I think it was last week or after week 1, when they asked, "Why don't you give the ball to Derrick Henry?" He basically said, "We didn't have him come here to have 20, 25 carries a game. Then why the hell did you sign him?"
This week he had 20 to 20. He had over 25 carries.
Yeah, he had 25 carries, and look what happened.
So you lied.
But yeah, at a certain point, though, the Ravens defense just went into a soft shell, and Dak Prescott started picking them apart piece by piece. We saw the very first successful dynamic onside kick recovery.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
That was something.
And like the whole time I'm watching this, I'm just like, again, this is a game where I'm rooting for a tie because I don't want either of these guys to win. I know it's un-American, but I was rooting for the tie. But I'm watching this, I'm just like, Ravens, no. Baltimore, no. Like if they blew this game, Harbaugh should have been fired the next day.
Harbaugh should have been fired. I think Harbaugh should have been fired after the AFC Championship game last year. The fact you had the MVP and you ran the ball 4 times in the second half, like
yeah, that was a bad decision.
Like it doesn't make any sense to me. But at least we finally know, because I think Jacob brought it up last week. Like the Ravens didn't have an identity on offense. Run the damn ball.
Run the ball.
Yes, you have no wide receivers. You legit have none.
Mark Andrews caught no passes.
Mark Andrews didn't catch anything.
Mark Andrews did literally nothing.
You have literally the best running quarterback in the NFL, and you have Derrick Henry. Just run the ball. Like just run. Yeah. Just run the ball.
Yeah, between Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and Keaton Mitchell, like you're a running team. Be a fucking running team. But yeah, this game was way too close for comfort. Cowboys fans, though, they're in a very, very, very rough spot because, like, the secret's out. Like, you now know how to beat this team. If you can run effectively, you're gonna beat the Cowboys. Yeah. Like, there's no advantage about it. You will beat the Cowboys. You can run effectively.
Sure.
Also, I do want to address CeeDee Lamb bitching on the sidelines after he fumbled the ball. That would have the Cowboys in prime territory for probably a touchdown, at least a field goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, tensions are high in Dallas, and I don't know. And looking at their schedule upcoming, they didn't only have 2 bye weeks because of who they play this week. But after that, the schedule does not get easier.
Wow.
Ouch.
All right, and moving on to I questioned the placement of this in Sunday Night Football. I still kind of do, but this was a better game than I thought it would be. It was the Falcons versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs should not have won this game.
No, and we'll break it down. But
Chiefs are they the worst 3-0 team? Ironically,
weirdly, yes. Like they are the worst 3-0 team.
They might be the worst.
And that's saying a lot when that lineup includes
the
Steelers,
Seahawks, and the Vikings,
Sam Darnold, and the Seahawks.
They are 3 plays away from being 0-3.
Yeah, no, legit, man, they are. The Chiefs have just not looked impressive at all this week. Like
outside of Rashee Rice, I think Rashee Rice is literally their only source of offense.
Yeah. Again, we got word that what's his nuts Isaiah Pacheco is going to be out for a couple weeks. So you saw a production by Carson Steele, who's Carson Steele. He's such a weird guy because like sometimes he looks great, but most of the time he looks fucking awful. He's slow as fuck is for a running back.
Yeah, that's why they brought back Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, but yeah, the Chiefs like making uncharacteristic mistakes. Like the interception Mahomes throws some of the worst balls I've seen him throw in his entire career in the last 3 weeks.
Mm.
It was bad.
They keep getting away with it.
That's the thing. They keep finding ways to win. Although this one, look, Falcons fans, y'all lost a lot. Y'all lost Super Bowl. Y'all lost prospects. Y'all lost hope. Y'all lost the box office battle with 80 for Brady. And you lost this game because you were robbed. Like, look, the Chiefs won on a PI call last week. The Chiefs also won on a PI call this week. Only thing is it was a no call. The Falcons were driving down the field.
The dude's back is to the ball, and he's literally hugging him.
Yeah, they're trying to. It was. I think it was 4th and goal. The dude was practically like fusing into Kyle Pitts' skin. Yeah. And that was not called. Keep in mind, a very similar play was called a penalty last week, only not this week. The only difference is
I can defend that one a little bit better against the Bengals. Like that one's like this one is just awful. Like I'm like, just say that the Chiefs they want the Chiefs to win at all costs. Like this one was clear as day about that.
I think the refs all simultaneously had their eyes closed during that play.
But the crazy thing is, though,
oh no,
the Falcons still had another chance to win this game.
Exactly.
Like they forced another punt, so the Falcons got the ball back with 2:26 left on the clock to get down by 6. Sorry, down by 5 to get a touchdown and win the game. Like that's not impossible. And you know what? If they did this, I would say the Kirk Cousins prime time curse is over. And you know what? He didn't play too bad. It's not.
They could get 1 yard on 4th and 1 or whatever.
That's the thing. So they're driving down the field. The Chiefs defense is imploding, committing costly penalties one after another. We're just like, okay, this is how the Chiefs are going to lose this game. It's 4th and inches at Kansas City's own. Not even 1. 4th and inches at KC's own 13. Why are we running horizontally?
Exactly. Like you just run straight, you'll probably get an inch.
I know a QB sneak with Kirk Cousins is risky at this point.
Yes.
Put Penix in. I don't care. Do something.
Yeah, the Browns did it with Jameis, I think. So yeah.
They did. Do something. Run it up the middle. Don't run fucking sideways. We only need inches to get the first down. And guess what happened? They try to get all cutesy. They try to run an outside zone. It's snuffed out. Turnover on downs. The Chiefs fucking win. And yeah,
hindsight being what it is, if they kick that ball, if they kick the field goal on the same drive with the Pitts non-PI call and a field goal here, they win 23-22.
They win.
But
there's also no.
You don't know that. Like they're like it's Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to win.
Go 3-0.
Like you don't win kicking field goals, and that's probably what the thought process was.
It's also the fact that like even if they didn't get the touchdown on that Kyle Pitts one, you still pin KC back at their own 6. So yeah, I mean I don't think that's a bad call in that situation. And like
it's just
honestly, it wasn't a bad play call. It was just like a bad miss by the refs. Just like again, the refs. Again, if I'm playing the Chiefs, I'm not scared of the team. I'm scared of the officiating.
Yeah. We have to play perfect, otherwise.
Yeah. But yeah, Chiefs, you escaped yet again. I don't know the sustain.
And you get a free win this week.
You did get a free win this week. We'll talk later, but yeah, as of right now, like I'll put it right now. I don't believe in the 3P at all. Like not one bit.
I believe in the 3 because the officials might just hand it.
The officials might give them the game.
They might hand them the 3P. So I don't know.
But yeah, moving on to our Monday Night Football double header.
This is the real reason Jacob's sad that he's not here.
Yeah, no, this is the only
Jacob we could have, like, if Jacob was here, at least 20 minutes of him talking about himself about this game.
Sure.
At least.
Yeah.
Beat down to the highest degree.
The Bills put on a fucking clinic on both sides of the ball.
It was over at halftime.
It was over at halftime. Yeah. And look, things are so dire in Jacksonville. We're starting to question if Urban Meyer was really that bad a coach.
It was the perfect irony, though, was that their team plane couldn't get off the ground after the game. I was like, that's so perfect.
It was, but yeah. Honestly, Josh Allen, good argument for Stonks Player of the Week. He's not mine.
Sure. He's the MVP favorite, at least right now.
Oh, he is. And like I knew that when I picked him, when I saw like the group of Yahoos he's playing with, but like Josh Allen's gonna have to go fire God mode, and Josh Allen went fire God mode.
So far he is.
So far he is. Now, again, I'm worried when he plays KC, just because that team is his kryptonite.
Sure.
But for right now, yeah, Josh Allen's playing great. Conversely, though, the Jags, what the hell happened? Trevor Lawrence, generational talent, playing like straight garbage. I don't know what to make of this thing. And like I said in our group chat, I'll say it here. Not this week, but if the Jaguars lose the week after to Indianapolis, he's fired. He's fired the next day.
Doug Peterson. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Trevor Lawrence has lost his last 8 straight games. It's like going back to last year. This is bad.
Yeah, this is
bad. That one pick that he had in the first half, guys, wide open on a crosser, not even close. You lead him right in the hands to probably a 15-yard gain. Completely airmailed it, and yeah, DeMar Hamlin gets his first career interception.
We had a guy die on the field, come back to life, and catch an interception before we got GTA 6.
He still picked up Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, exactly.
And then it's the week before that guy almost killed another man.
He almost did kill another man.
I think DeMar Hamlin win comeback player of the year now.
for killing Tua.
just a year late. Yeah, a year late.
Roll the clip. No, I'm not gonna roll the clip again.
Jesus Christ! Don't play that clip again. That was terrible. That was terrible.
I stand by what I did. But yeah, Bills are clicking on all cylinders. Granted, they've played some mediocre to bad teams.
I think the Cardinals are probably the best team that they've played.
Sure,
I would agree.
But as a good team, you should beat up on the bad teams. So
and they're beating up. Well, yeah, they're beating up the 2 quote unquote bad teams they've played.
Yeah.
Jacksonville. I hope you enjoyed that playoff win because things right now are pretty rough. Now again, you're locked into Trevor Lawrence. You're not getting out of that.
Yep, I was about to say that.
Now.
What was it? 6 years, 275?
5 years. 5 years, 275.
Oh god, that's even worse. That's even worse.
I mean, it's kind of like 5 years kind of standard for NFL contracts now. Like I feel like we'll never see like a 6, 7 plus year contract ever again.
Yeah. You gave him that money after he did what? With one playoff game?
I mean, better than a lot of other QBs who didn't making money from doing less.
I love that someone made a graphic of literally putting side by side Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence's careers. They're pretty much identical. One is considered the worst QB ever. One's a generational talent. Their numbers are literally the same. I think they're both 1-1 in the playoffs too. So it's like it's bad.
Yeah. Moving on to our second of the Monday Night doubleheaders, and also our game of the week. Who the hell saw this coming?
No one.
Maybe
Mark Ellis.
Maybe Mark Ellis. Commies versus the Bengals, and you know what? For sending the Bengals back to bungle status, Jaden Daniels is my player of the week.
You know where Jaden Daniels went to school, Chance?
He counts
Initially-
LSU. He counts LSU.
No, no, he,
No. Look, if you leave and go somewhere else, you atone for your sins. So you know what? That's fine. I forget. You went to Arizona State.
Arizona State got it.
So you know what?
that's why I brought it up.
He went to ASU.
He was so bad there. Like, that just shows how bad Herm Edwards was. Is Jaden Daniels was awful at Arizona State. He then goes to LSU to Brian Kelly, and now, like, right now, he's looking like the best rookie quarterback so far.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
There is nobody.
Yeah.
There is nobody.
Also,
I mean, before this, best rookie quarterback was Michael Penix, who hadn't seen the field.
like, Jaden Daniels, for the sake of all Commanders fans, Mark Ellis, slide for the love of God. You've got to
He slid
You
sometimes.
have got to learn to.
It's recurring.
He's a very scrawny human being. These NFL defensive linemen and linebackers are way bigger. He's gonna get destroyed.
Bulk up or slide.
Yes, bulk up or learn to not go for the extra yard.
I mean, he slid sometimes, so I give him credit. But like Jaden Daniels played great in this game.
Oh,
like,
the throw to McLaurin. Yeah.
Oh, the throw to McLaurin. Again, I will put up again.
Perfect.
But
yeah.
Perfect throw.
Perfect. Like that's. I would say that's the best play of the season so far.
I hate Brian Robinson with an absolute passion, and Chance knows why.
Oh, I do know why.
He cost me $350.
It did cost. It cost $300.
Wow.
I had a parlay for Monday night. Everything else, like the legs that I had for the Bills game, all hit within the first quarter. I mean, first half. So I was good, and then all of the other ones were pretty much good in the third quarter. I'm like, okay, I need like 35 yards from Brian Robinson. Nope. I was like,
if it makes you feel better, I currently have a grudge with the Houston Texans because they cost me my parlay. Literally every other one of my legs hit except Houston.
Yeah. But no, Jaden Daniels. Wow. Like, I thought he was really overhyped for having
one good year.
Yeah. One good year in college, and sometimes that doesn't translate. Again, it's early. Let's see if because teams will adapt to him. Mm-hmm. Will he adapt back? This also pisses me off because it proves that Cliff Kingsbury is a good offensive coordinator.
Terrible head coach.
Really? Terrible.
God awful head coach.
And
you need to vote him.
And who do the Commanders play this week? The
Cardinals. Oh,
yes.
There you go.
Oh, Cliff Kingsbury revenge game, baby. Let's go.
Like, before this game, I was like, all right, that's an easy dub. Nope. I was like, not if Jaden Daniels does this again.
Yeah. On the other side with Cincy, look, I know they're a slow starting team, but Jesus, you can't start this slow.
Also because you need Zach Taylor to keep his job.
Well, yeah, I need Zach Taylor to not go anywhere.
This is not helping.
That
defense is bad.
Oh, they're awful. They're awful.
38 points. There were no punts in this game.
Yeah, no punts, no punts, and no turnovers. That's so weird.
What is that, like the 5 times it's happened in history? It's insane.
But yeah, I mean, like Joe Burrow, I don't want to credit him. He did fine. He did okay. Jamar Chase did Jamar Chase things, but
yeah, I love the quote that he said. Like, the reason he had played bad the first 2 weeks is because he's being double teamed. You're a top 5 wide receiver. Of course, no shit, you're gonna get doubled. Like, I'm like, that's more. Like, that was such a diva. Like, comment. Of course, you'll be good when you're 1-on-1 and people play zone against you. I mean, I will say thank you to Jamar Chase. He won me $35 because I had him on the first TD of the game. So I was like, sweet. I was like, at least. I don't know if he's on the Bengals after the season.
Oh, probably not. Neither
at this rate. Well, no, T. Higgins is definitely gone.
Yeah, they might both be gone.
Yeah, Jamar. I feel like Jamar Chase will probably be there, but I wouldn't be shocked if
they didn't sign him. So.
Oh, Omar Khan, if you get one of these guys in the offseason, I will love you so much. I will build the shrine to you myself in solid gold and steel.
Okay.
But yeah, this is this was ridiculous. The part of the Bengals, and honestly, the Bengals' schedule from here on out. Well, they got one reprieve game this week, but like you're losing ground fast.
Exactly.
You're losing ground fast in the division. Now, granted, two other teams in your division are not doing great. You are way behind Pittsburgh.
You're still worse.
Yeah, you are still worse.
Baltimore over them. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bad look. And look, the Bengals cannot keep starting this slow. Like, it is not a sustainable model for winning and long-term ambitions. This is a bad look for the Bengals all around, especially the defense. That defense is fucking god-awful.
Yeah, it's no bueno for sure.
No bueno. Not one bit bueno. And that's going to do it for the week that was. We now look forward to the week that is. Looking forward to interesting games coming forward.
Much better than last week when we thought last week was going to be terrible.
Yeah, and now this week has some solid games. I'm not going to diss these games. This week start with Thursday Night Football. Well, we're not starting off great, but we got this. Cowboys versus the Giants.
I mean, usually when these two teams play, it's a 40-point blowout in favor of the Cowboys.
I'm curious to see how Malik Neighbors, can he continue how he's done the last 2 weeks? Because he's looked really I think he's so far has looked the best rookie wide receiver.
Just wait till Lumpy gets drafted next year.
Deep cut reference. Okay.
Deep cut. This is a weirdly enough a must win for the Cowboys for sure.
Yes.
Like if you lose this game, you're in trouble. You are in so much trouble. I mean, as much as I don't want the Cowboys to win, I'm not an idiot. I know they're gonna trash this team.
Yeah.
Although if it's close, that's also concerning.
Sure. I don't think it's a 40-point blowout, but it's Cowboys.
Stonks or not stonks for this week. Let's say Malik Neighbors.
Stonks.
Sure, I'll buy into it.
All right, so Malik Neighbors is
until he gives me a reason not to. Well, what he's done through 2 weeks.
He's doing it with Daniel Jones.
You have your reason. Daniel Jones.
Well, true, but if he can do it with Daniel Jones, come on.
Up next, we got the Vikings going to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Aaron Jones revenge game.
Yeah, sure.
This is actually a really tough one. This one's tougher than it has any right to be right now for me.
Tougher than we've seen Malik Willis play somewhat decent.
Yeah.
Who would have said that?
It's very interesting how Packers are favored. Does Vegas know, or does Vegas feel like Jordan Love is playing? Because I don't.
There's rumblings that he could play. So
what? There's no reason to. There's no reason to rush him back. Yeah. Malik Willis has done really, really well. Sure. So why rush him back? Yeah. I get this is a very important game because of how well the Vikings are playing. I just don't understand it.
I'll go Vikings.
Now, in terms of my fantasy teams, yes, Jordan Love, please play. Because I have way too many fantasy teams, but it's absolutely ridiculous. But I have one where if he doesn't play, I literally will not score any points.
For me, it's tough. I think that defense is gonna be a pretty tough game for Malik Willis, so I am going Minnesota. For this week, let's say Aaron Jones.
Well, you said revenge game, so yes.
That's one stonks.
Yeah.
Buck, what do you say?
Who was it again?
Aaron Jones.
I'm going to go not stonks.
Ooh, interesting. I'm actually going to lean slight not stonks. I think that the Packers' run defense isn't terrible, so I think that he's going to be stuffed a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of that chip on the shoulder for the Packers as well. So, up next, Nathaniel Hackett revenge game part 2.
Oh, that's true. He hates Sean Payton.
He does hate Sean Payton.
and vice versa.
Broncos at Jets. I feel so bad. Look, Bone Neck, I hope you enjoyed the one win.
The one win.
I don't think it's happening this week.
You got to play a really good defense. So yeah,
I do have the Jets taking this in
Same.
a pretty. I think the Jets taking this handedly.
I don't know about handedly because Surtain will probably shut down Garrett Wilson.
But
So,
I think he'll spread. I think he'll spread the ball around. I think he'll go
spread
like
the ball
Conklin
around
or
so
Mike
it should
Williams.
compensate for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, like when I say handily, I think like it'll be decided by at least 6 points.
Yeah, probably by a touchdown at least.
Buck, what do you say?
Oh, this is hard because I don't know. That's Aaron Rodgers. Man's old. I don't know.
always
What we're like, and it's at MetLife, so who freaking knows with injuries? But also it's Bo Nix.
Not a believer.
Not a believer. Not a believer at all.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know if the Jets are going to cover. That's a really big spread.
They might. They might just barely cover.
Yeah, I don't know if I take this from a betting perspective because that is a lot. But yeah, for stonks this game, say Tyler Beatty.
No.
No. Get out of here.
He might be the best.
Come on, let's be serious.
I mean, he was the best running back last game.
All right.
Chance
Okay. Fine. You want to get serious? Let's get serious. Let's talk about the Steelers versus the Colts.
Okay. I can't even argue this one. It's as much as I want to argue against that.
Yeah. Look, we saw what Anthony Richardson did against the Bears defense. What the hell is going to happen when we go against the best defense in football?
4 picks.
I would take if there's no over under on Richardson picks, I would take at least one. Also, calling like a weird shot right here. I'm calling a weird shot right here. I think Minka Fitzpatrick gets his first pick of the season in this game. I don't know why I got the weird feeling.
That's a good call.
Yeah, but either way, the Steelers defense has been so good that they are going to, again, the run game has alleviated a lot of the stress off of Richardson. That's not going to be the case here. Both times the Steelers have played the Colts in the regular season, they have not had a good rushing performance. JT or whoever else they have. So, yeah, Steelers. No, y'all know. Look at this. These colors don't run. These colors don't run. Pittsburgh all day.
Who would have thought at the beginning of the year Justin Fields would be 4-0? Most likely.
I did.
Well, you didn't think it'd be Justin Fields.
That's a lie. I thought Russell Wilson would be 4-0. Point in, I thought we'd be 4-0. I thought TJ Watt would be 4-0. The real MVP of the NFL.
Yes, got it.
This is more me just being a troll to you and Shug, but I'm going Colts.
You don't believe that. You don't believe that.
It's like
I don't. But the thing is,
Chargers last week.
maybe we get good Anthony Richardson this week.
Maybe. Against this defense, it's unlikely.
All right, and y'all know what time it is. All the Steelers are stunks, every single one of them, especially you on the defense, and everybody else are not stunks,
except Jonathan Taylor, please.
No.
Speaking of my fantasy team,
I'm so sorry, Con. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know. He's probably gonna do that well.
Moving on to speaking of the Bears, the Rams at Bears. The line for this one shocked me. I am shocked that it's only a 2.5-point line in favor of the Bears.
Unfortunately, I'm not, because the Rams have no weapons on offense other than Kyron Williams. Tutu Atwell doesn't count.
No.
The man's name is Tutu.
He's not the.
I guess we're not having Tutu Atwell on the show. Sorry, Tutu.
Okay.
God damn.
Our next guy, Tutu Atwell, everybody.
What a get. Yeah, it should be the Rams because the Bears still don't look like a fully competent team.
No. Until I see a full game of that, like Caleb Williams not running around, like a little, like just running for his life, I can't pick the Bears. So yeah, to be honest, I think the Rams win this easily because they have Matthew Stafford and they have Sean McVay.
Until the Bears can stop being the Bears, I gotta pick the Rams. Stonks for this game. Let's say Matthew Stafford.
I mean, the first defense at least that's the good part of the team. I'll say slightly not Stonks.
I'll say Stonks. I think he'll have
He'll be good enough, but I don't know.
I'll give Stonks to
translates
Stafford.
Stonks.
I will give Stonks to Stafford. Let's see. Next game we have. Oh, okay, yeah. This one, it has a lot of implications, and I think the division title on the line is the Saints versus the Falcons.
Not right now. No,
Not
the division.
Someone being the
Sorry,
lead.
not division title, division lead.
Division lead.
Sure.
There we go. I was like, it's week 4. You can't
title's
say
on
the
the line.
title.
Not the title. Sorry. I misspoke. I meant to say lead.
This is honestly a coin toss. I don't know.
This is really hard because it's either Kirk Cousins or Carr, and I'm like, fuck.
If it was just a one game, I'll still kind of believe in the Saints because it might have just been a 1 week thing. We'll see if I'm proven wrong.
But it's also Dennis Allen. Like, no, I'm going Falcons on this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you guys, and like this is fully dependent on what Saints team we get.
Yeah.
If we get Cowboys Falcons, I mean Cowboys Saints. Oh,
Yeah, Saints
dude,
easily.
yeah. But if we get first 3 quarters against Philly Saints,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Honestly, it could go either way. I'll just pick Saints just to say.
Yeah, I'll also lean toward the Saints. Stonks for this game. Let's say Kyle Pitts.
Jesus. Outside of one long pass last week, it was.
Can I say Stonks and not Stonks?
Yeah, let's
No.
push. That's a push.
Yeah, can I say push?
Stonks because
Get it.
most tight ends are bad.
They're like no, but seriously, tight ends this year have been awful.
Yeah.
Like no
Not
one,
even just we don't have to be fantasy football, just in general. Tight ends
Yeah.
are-
yeah, like no one's had a good like.
I'm looking right at you, Travis Kelce.
Exactly. That's a prime
I
example.
knew as soon as I said that he was going to bring it up.
It's the prime example of the tight ends sucking this year.
Yeah.
So sure, not Stonks on Pitt.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go not Stonks too. I
no stonks on
Really
Pitts.
annoying.
Okay, that's fine.
Just annoying.
Okay. Look, Andy Dalton.
This is the game.
You have-
Calling
you
it right
have
now.
You have the chance to do the greatest thing on the planet.
Oh my god.
You win. I swear to God, Andy Dalton. If you win this game, you will be my Stonks Player of the Week, no matter how ugly it is.
Exactly.
But yeah. Look,
I'm
Bengals
actually gonna
should
pick
win
the-
this game.
I'm going to pick the Panthers. I'm picking.
Really?
Oh yeah, I am absolutely
picking
taking the
Panthers.
Panthers here.
It might be an overreaction after last week, but screw it. It's
You know what?
revenge- it's
I'll
the
go with
ultimate
you
revenge
guys. I'll go with you
game.
guys.
It's the ultimate
Panthers.
revenge
Let's
game,
go.
so I'll pick Panthers.
And Stonks for this one. L Run Chuba Hubbard. What do we got?
Stonks. Yeah,
Never
yeah.
heard of it.
yeah,
yeah. I'll go Stonks. That's a good
All
one.
right.
I think he is doing what he needs because with
Oh, Jordan Brooks
Brooks-
is gonna come back.
with Brooks being out the first 4 weeks, he's doing a really good job. Like he's looked really good these first 4 weeks. So I think they won't entirely hand the
They won't
keys.
rush Brooks.
Yeah, they won't feel the need to immediately Brooks like 90% in week 5. Like they could go to like a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be a major drop off with still love his first name. Chuba.
Chuba Hubbard. His nickname in my Dynasty League is literally L Run Hubbard.
I'll run Chuba Hubbard. Or Scientology fans.
Eagles versus Bucks. Okay, look, this game is going to be interesting because like if AJ Brown and Devonta Smith don't play,
Yeah. Which is
this could get ugly.
Yeah.
Unless
Because
Dallas
Bucks
Goddard
catches.
decides to have 10 catches again.
That's gonna be your only offense. And Saquon.
It's
No, or if they want to have freaking Saquon just catch everything underneath and get like 6 or 7 catches.
Oh, Saquon for PPR. He's
gonna
a
be
gold
amazing.
mine this week.
Pretty amazing.
Dude, he absolutely freaking is. Like he is going to feed like. And the thing is with the Eagles right now, I don't know if I want to just kind of troll Jacob because right now his what he said about the Eagles is not looking great.
Not looking good. It is not looking good.
It is not, and like, but also like
The injuries are Piling up.
Big fan of Larry too, and like he's one of the few Eagle fans I know that aren't completely annoying. Like
Is it a
Philly sport fans drive me freaking crazy. They're so obnoxious. So it's more like I like Larry, but it's really hard for me to decide.
Yeah, I mean, purely out of the fuck you, Jacob move, I'm going with the Eagles. But if their top two receivers are not in the game, this could be.
Yeah, I'll operate on the belief that they're not playing, so I'll go Bucks because I don't think you can't
Right.
only rely on Goddard and Saquon.
Well, stonks for this
In
one.
theory.
And this is also a big one because the Bucks did upend the Eagles in the playoffs last year. So
Oh, true. Yes. Yeah.
on the line. Stonks or not stonks, Jalen Hurts.
Not stonks.
Not. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I
Not
think
taking
he's not gonna have Brown or Smith, and
His numbers won't look as good. Yeah.
and
You know
you're
what?
relying on.
I'll believe in you, Jalen. I'll say stonks.
Are you believing Jalen or just wanting Jacob to fail?
It's both.
Both.
Both is good.
So yes.
No, I'm genuinely like a big Jalen Hurts fan. Like I really do. I think as a quarterback. Up next, Jaguars at Texans.
Here we come.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jags
think so.
need this game, but it's the Texans.
But the Texans also are probably, coming in angry after getting embarrassed.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it should be Texans.
should be Texans. This has potential to be rough. Although I do think the Jags will keep it a little close.
You would assume
Probably.
so.
You would
You would
hope.
assume so. You would hope so.
For
Again,
their fan
like I
base,
said,
you would hope.
if they lose this week, it's not Doug Peterson getting fired. It's next week if they lose, they get fired. He gets fired. Him and Trent Baalke, both fired.
Oof.
For this game, let's say, since he's not here, Stephon Diggs.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go not stonks.
Trick question. The correct answer is stonks because Jacob is not here.
Okay.
It's a toss-up because it could be any of the three receivers on that team,
On any given day, yes.
and we just don't know. We just know which one it is.
I cannot get the graphic to pop up. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Up next, Patriots at 49ers.
-10?
Yeah. The line was
Well,
insane.
I guess they just saw the Patriots play. So,
Can you
we
imagine
assume it's
what?
set again, right? We assume it's reset.
Yeah.
It has to
To why I in all my leagues, if I got Drake May, I handicapped it with Jacoby Brissett just in case.
Cool.
What would this line be if the Niners were healthy? Are we thinking 14?
Oh,
It'd be
14
more.
plus,
Even
yeah.
more. The Niners should about this.
This is
Even how
easy.
injured they are.
But God, -10 like
That's
that.
a lot. But yes.
That is a lot. I think the Niners will win, but I think the Patriots will.
They might
cover.
sneakily cover that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a backdoor cover all the way.
Yeah,
This is a
no,
back-
like again, we'll
It is
talk
that much.
about Jacob's best bet. He did send me his rundown of best bets, but yeah. Now, so you're both going 49ers?
yeah.
How injured they are. They should still be this team.
Yes.
Juwan
Well,
Jennings will have another good one.
Look, let me tell you why it's gonna be the Patriots.
Because the Niners are
I rest my case.
Okay.
Yeah, stonks for this one.
Juwan Jennings.
Let's. No, I'm gonna say Brandon Ayuk, and there is a right answer.
Okay. I plead the fifth at this point.
Okay, no, for real though, stonks for this one. Since their defense is pretty compromised right now, let's say Ramondre Stevenson.
Nah.
Not st- I was
They're gonna
not.
fall behind, and it's not gonna.
Yeah, like they're going to be down by probably 14 after the end of the first. They're not going to run. They're not going to run the
Yeah, they
ball.
can't run, you know.
Like they just can't. So yeah, and I was not impressed by how bad he was last week against the Jets.
Yeah.
Again, it's the Jets. It's a decent defense, but still, no,
Still,
he is
yeah.
a not stonks for me.
All right, Bucks, your boys, commies versus Cardinals.
This could be interesting.
If you would have asked me this Sunday afternoon, I'd feel really confident about the Cardinals. Right now, I don't know.
It's a coin
Because
flip for me.
yeah, and it's Cliff, and they're here. I mean, obviously, I'm going to take the Cardinals. I don't know if they'll even cover this because unless they game plan really well against Jaden Daniels, I don't know if that's possible with this lack of a front seven. So yeah, I still have the Cardinals though.
If good Kyler shows up, because it seems like he's alternating good and bad games, so maybe good Kyler will show up.
Hold on.
So I'll pick Cardinals.
Let's chart the Kyler Murray index.
Call of Duty. It doesn't release till like October. I looked it up.
No. I'm not talking. I'm talking about. But so let's see. Okay, are we saying Bills was a good game or a bad game?
I'd say it was a okay game. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
Okay, so we're starting like neutral. Then good game against the Rams, bad game against the Cardinals. So by that metric, he's due for either a good game or a mid game.
Or a decent game, right?
I think it's going to be more on the good side. Lions have a decent defense.
Yeah.
I don't think the Commanders have a good defense, so I think that's going to help.
They absolutely do not have a good defense.
So I think that's why it's going to be more on a good game for him. One thing I'm worried about though, Trey McBride left late in the fourth with a concussion.
Yeah,
so I think that they have a really good connection. So if he plays, then I think it's a good Kyler game. If it's not, I'm hoping that they are able to run the ball with James Conner.
If it's not, then 20 targets for Marvin Harrison.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm going to throw out for the Stonks metric. MHJ.
Yeah, because that's
Stonks.
Kyler's
I'm going to say Stonks every week because I'm
Kyler
completely
loves him
biased.
now. Just by volume of targets, he's going to be stoned.
Yeah. All right. Next game. I don't know why. I know why, but yeah.
I mean, it's a division game. That's why.
I thought this was Sunday night for a second. I'm like, wait, no, it's not. My wires are
Thank
crossed.
God it's not. Yeah.
But again, things somehow keep working out for the Chiefs. Again, the Steelers. Again, if the Chiefs win this game, I think the Steelers should get a W by proxy because we decimated the Chargers for you to win.
Now you're just bending over backwards to try and.
This line tells me Vegas doesn't think Justin Herbert is playing.
Oh, they absolutely don't think he's playing.
Also, yeah, he probably will. Because also they have a bye next week, so the smart thing would be to hold him out.
If Herbert plays, I'd say cut this in half and have it at 4, and I think that's probably more accurate.
If you get where Herbert's playing, take this before Vegas changes their mind.
Yeah,
that's true. I might take it now.
Chiefs easily. It might be a blowout.
It might be. Honestly, I would throw down something small on this just because it's this, because we don't know before the line changes. Yeah, I mean it's probably going to be Chiefs. For this game, for the love of God, can it happen? Can Travis Kelce finally be Stonks?
Can you finally brag to Taylor that he had a good game?
Please.
I think what it is they've transitioned him away from being the main target in the offense, and they made it to Rice because it is evident. Like he is running all of the normal Kelce routes.
Yeah.
But that's inconsiderate for me because I finally got in fantasy.
Because everyone cares about chances.
I get him in. Look, I try to be positive about the Chiefs. I'll take Travis Kelce. I get a shot at him. I've never had a shot at having Travis Kelce before. I get him the year he stops giving a shit about the game of football.
I'll say he has his best game, but that's still not Stonks based on his expectations.
Why? All right, fine.
It'll still be his best game of the year, which is not saying that much.
All right. Moving on to our next game. We got please be Stonks, Travis Kelce. The Browns at the Raiders.
This is a straight pick 'em. Like this is just a straight pick 'em.
Unwatchable football.
So it's at the Raiders. They're at home. Traveling to Cleveland is somewhat far.
I'll pick the Raiders, but like begrudgingly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be decided on the last possession.
It probably will be.
Like, I think we're getting like a 13-10 game. Like, it's not going to be good at all.
That's all. Definitely not. No.
Hold on, let's see. What's the over/under for this game? 37.
30.
Take the under. Pound that
I'll
under.
take that under in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But knowing my luck with game totals, they'll have 37.5.
Yeah.
I am.
I'll just go off.
For stonks for this game, let's say Amari Cooper.
It's kind of a revenge game for him from
Yeah.
a while back.
I'm gonna go not. No, I'm gonna go not stonks.
I go Will, but they'll still lose somehow.
I'll say not stonks for Cooper. I don't know how, but he's gonna find a way to be not stonks. Up next, Sunday Night Football. We got the Jacob heart attack game. The Bills.
Ooh,
Here's a decent one.
ooh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah. This one's really tough.
Yeah.
And the Bills
This
suck there.
is the very first like real test for Buffalo,
Sure. Yeah.
which is weird
And
saying that against a 1-2 team, but yeah.
A 1-2 team.
Yeah. Ooh, this is tough because Josh Allen has looked like man that's not turned the ball over. Like I'm like
He's avoiding the smaller-
like what is this? Who is this guy? Because
He's cut down on the dumb mistakes.
yeah. This is tough.
For Jacob's sanity and also kind of mine, I'll pick the Bills. It should be really.
I probably will I think I'm gonna go Bills on this one.
They
Just-
look better. The Ravens.
yeah, they have looked overall the best through their first 3 games. Ravens
up
really
and down. Yeah.
like even though they're 1-2, they haven't looked great in their games. Like
Yeah.
Purely because I need the Ravens to not gain ground in the division. I'm going Bills for this game. It's too bad Josh Norman is not still on the Bills. Let's say King Henry.
Yeah, he might be.
stonks.
Yeah.
I'm giving
If they're smart and they figured out that's the
Yes,
advantage,
and
if they figured it out, then yes.
if they if he gets 4 or 5 carries in the first quarter, then all right. So they realize just run the ball and occasionally throw it to keep the defense honest. Because what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna decide to cover Lamar and leave a freaking freight train, or are you gonna cover Derrick Henry and have that
Lamar
tall,
run.
lanky man? Yeah, like
He'll just run.
so. Which I think is going to help them in the passing game
Sure.
because it's going to open up for Zay Flowers.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think.
And next week we got another Monday night doubleheader. First one we have is the Titans versus the Dolphins.
Jesus.
Why? Okay, I'm sorry. NFL, you need to have the ability to flex starting from week 1 to week 18. Because I'm sorry, we should not get this on Monday night. This is
Well,
such.
when is flexing starts? I can't remember.
Isn't it like week 8 or week 9 or something?
It
Halfway
is,
through
yes.
the year at least.
I'm sorry. No, you guys make these schedules in what March and April,
Yeah.
thinking, and then after a few weeks you just change it because no,
Just
like,
change-
this
things
should not be a
happen.
primetime game.
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah.
This should be in the early slate on Sunday.
No.
when
Here's
This
what
is
I'll-
why it's
here's
prime
what I'll
time
argue.
for Will Levis.
Here's what I'll argue. Yes, because this is Will Levis.
We get
on
to see
prime
Will Levis
time.
in prime time.
What
What's
is
better
he
than that?
going to do?
What's better than that?
The world needs to say, I'm upset this game is not the ABC ESPN Plus game because the,
The world's not
world
acquainted with Will
needs
Levis.
to see Will Levis do whatever he's gonna do.
Hmm.
I can't wait to see what Will Levis has in store for us next.
Ironically, I think
I want to know how many weeks in a row that we have some like meme because so far we're 3 for 3.
We're 3 for 3.
It's insane.
It's
I think the Titans
hilarious.
actually win because the
The
Dolphins. look
the
terrible.
Titans have no win, but they're undefeated in the meme economy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is tough. It's like, okay, what wins? The stoppable force or the movable object? I'm gonna lean the Titans because I feel like Will Levis is at least kind of competent. Even when he fucks up, he's a little
And
competent.
Miami did
quarterback.
not look competent
Yeah.
last week. So no matter who they're starting a quarterback.
Yeah, so I'm going Will Levis. Stonks for this game. I mean, again, I feel like Will Levis is perma stonks for like what way is he gonna fuck up this week? But let's say Calvin Ridley.
I don't know. He's still in love with Hopkins. So I don't know.
Because I'm super biased because he's on my fantasy team in the What the Show League. I'm saying Stonks because I need it. Actually, who am I playing this week?
I'll say no because it seems like he likes Hopkins more than Ridley.
I mean, you
Alright.
should.
Yeah.
I'll bet on Calvin Ridley. I'll say Stonks. And
He's
second
probably betting on
half-
himself.
Probably is. Last game of the Monday Night Doubleheader, we have the.
This is a
Seahawks-
good
Okay,
one.
this is better. This is much better.
This is really good.
This was the right one to put on ABC and ESPN Plus.
Yeah, exactly. The other one you don't have.
Oh, 3.5. So, could go either way. It's at home.
Even though they're undefeated, I don't think Seattle's look that impressive. So
Who have they played? What?
They
New
played
England?
The Dolphins with no Tua. They had to go to
Denver,
Denver.
Denver,
So they don't-
New
they're
England,
not-
and Seahawks. So yeah,
So the Lions should win because this is easily the
and
best.
yet they're still a more impressive 3-0 than the Chiefs.
Yes.
Yeah. And because they're in the NFC West, I'm going Lions. Kansas, same logic chance used for picking the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, even they're not. I have no skin in the game to the delight of William Harold and Bethany Carl, or Bethany Deacon, I should say, that she did legally change her name. I will go with Detroit.
Also, how can you not love Dan Campbell? Like, that man, like, there's nothing to hate. Like, I love how aggressive he is. Like, he doesn't give a single like he went for it with a fake punt inside his own 20. I was like,
That's-
man.
Brandon
That's
Staley,
what-
but it works. He's Brandon
That's
Staley,
yeah,
but it
no,
works.
yeah, like if we look at coaches like Pokemon Evolution and Mark Bistek, I don't even like Pokemon. We're talking like it's like Brandon Staley evolves to Dan
into
Quinn,
Dan Campbell.
who evolves to Dan Campbell.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so I'm also going Detroit for Stonks in this one. Let's say DK Metcalf.
He might
Stonks. Because he's
He
had,
should do well. He should do well.
I know in at least 2 of the 3 weeks he's had a big play touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Like he is, I'm Stonks for sure with DK.
DK Metcalf, low key, been like one of the best receivers of the league this year so far.
Sure.
All right, and that's gonna do it for the games this week. He's not here, but we are still going to do Jacob's best bets. Let's see. Let me pull up this. Here we go. Jacob's best bets. Honestly, had a pretty good week last week. 4 for 5. So the only one he missed on was Texans -2.5. I missed on that as well.
Well,
Fucking
probably
Texans cost me $100, and I will never forgive him for it. His best bets of the week this week. Let's see. We got Steelers -2. I think that line's moved a little bit. Let me double check. Jaguars +7, Patriots +10, Bills +2.5, and Seahawks +3.5. See.
I think anytime the line's over 10, you always take the plus because
the line's gone down for Pittsburgh versus Indy. It's now down to 1.5. Take that shit.
Yeah, take that. Absolutely.
okay. Oh, damn.
Like that.
Yeah. I need to. I haven't looked at my lines for bets this week, so
Was it because Najee Harris was hurt, and that's maybe I don't know.
It might be, but at the same time,
So
Patriots.
it's no
Jaguars usually play Buffalo tough. They did last time. Patriots. That's just too many points.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. Bills. I mean, I can see the logic there. And Seahawks. Yeah, I can see that game being pretty close.
I think they went to overtime the last time they played. So yeah.
They did. So that,
Yes.
that game was.
So yeah.
But that's going to do it for us here at Left Side Strong Side. Buck, thank you for coming back. Where will we find you?
I have a baseball podcast on the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm in a really pissed off mood about that right now because they're down 11-0. with a chance to make the San Francisco Giants. So they're probably not going to make the playoffs. So that's cool. Yeah, that's my main thing. And if you want to follow on my personal at BrandonBuck88.
Khan?
I'm on Twitter at the King Khan. I'm on Letterboxd if you care about really dumb reviews about movies. And then you can find me on this show where I've appeared more times now than Jacob this year.
This season, yes. This season, you have been on more than Jacob.
Who could have said that?
You have my Twitter Instagram _91. Actually, given his wedding date, you'll probably be on more this season more than Jacob is.
That's true.
He's
He's winning at life. He's winning at life. I'm here.
Twitter Instagram _91. Check out Toys by Chance. Our episode on Fight Club is out. Our episode on Good, the Bad, and the Ugly will hopefully be out over the weekend. And find us every week right here on Left Side Strong Side. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week.